Well, there it is. Hi guys, this is Witty and welcome to a video about the latest changes for Warcraft 3. It's a patch 1.29 public test realm available right now. I actually have a video about this on the channel if you want to check that out, and as to how to install and play the latest public test realm if you want to give any of these changes a go. So balance changes, map pool changes, there's a lot going on. So we're going to read through this. This is going to be my first impressions. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible because I will be making a lot of videos specifically about each and every single one of these changes most likely. So make sure to thumbs up the video and subscribe. Click that bell icon if you want to find out more coming up in the latest changes for Warcraft 3. So I'm going to read through this and give you my first impressions. So Pete Steelwell says, "Hail War Chiefs, Liches, Commanders and Keepers. Warcraft 3's PTR is back and ready for your scrutiny. Join us in testing widescreen support, hero balance changes and updates to map pools for 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s and free for all. We've also added some experimental modes like 24-player support for custom games." That's crazy. What? That is absolutely bonkers. No wonder they were increasing the amount of size that the maps can be to support that many players. That's insane. We hope you enjoy. We will be watching here for general feedback, the editor Fred for map maker feedback, and the balance and map pool Fred for that topic. Details below. So you got the Windows installer for the public test room, the Mac installer. So the specific changes and improvements, widescreen support, added bookends to the in-game interface, added black pillars in menus to prevent stretching. So you will see what I mean if you actually load up the PTR. But 24-player support, game lobbies revised to support 24 players. Wow, that is absolutely huge. Not only for people to observe and have the casters whilst you got the players, so you could have 4v4 tournaments, 6 versus 6 tournaments. I mean, what, you could have a 10 versus 10 tournament and still have 4. No, you can't. Surely I can't imagine that you can still. I don't know, I haven't tested it yet, but does that mean you can have 12 versus 12? Is that possible? I'm going to assume not, and I'm going to assume that what it means is you just have more observer spots. But if you can have 12 versus 12, that's crazy. Team colors revised and expanded. Colorist selection is an ongoing effort. Feel free to leave specific suggestions with color codes. Okay, so that's fine. You've got the balance and map pool changes, the world editor upgrades. We're going to look over those shortly. The bug fixes. Clans may now be created. Well, I thought they could be created, but there you go. Unable to change resolutions in native. Okay, so this is not too relative. So we're going to look at the map pool and balance changes. Okay. So, balance changes. This is huge. I mean, when was the last time we had a balance change? Seriously, write in the comment section below the last time we had a balance change that actually had a significant impact on how the units and the heroes act. I thought it was the one where the human towers got like an increase to their duration for upgrading or something like that. But that was like 1.24 or something, really long time ago. Anyway, Mountain King, or it might be 1.26. Anyway, Mountain King base speed. So you're going to see this a lot for quite a few heroes. Increased to 270 to 290. This is a really big deal. That's quite significant. You know, boots the speed on top of that. He's going to be a bit nippier getting around the field. So Stormbolt's been reduced in damage. I'm going to go over this kind of like in a brief version because we'll go into much more detail in single videos for these kind of cases. So just reduction to Stormbolt damage. Thunderclaps received a buff with its damage and its radius. Paladin has attack speed, so that's been improved. That's I mean, that's good. Base speed is good as well. Obviously moves a bit quicker. Divine Shield's been nerfed. So I'm surprised the Paladin didn't get much more than that. I would like to see a change to how Devotion Aura works, but of course when I make single videos regarding this, I might actually try to create solutions as well, and perhaps those videos can be promoted to Blizzard so that they can see. So they're going ahead with these changes to test them out in an invitational, I think, recently in the coming days. So they want to see how this plays out, and then obviously this could be the first of many changes. So it's very interesting. So again, Blademaster mirror image. So he's got a buff. His mana cost is now 115, 125. Still bad. So we're going to see how that one works out. Critical strike. Now, this is the most important one. I haven't read this properly, but it's been nerfed. Removed the plus damage item interaction from multiplier calculation. So that means claws of attack and such won't be impacting it so much. So you won't be able to hit those crazy 300 plus crits. Well, you might still be able to do it, but I don't know. I would have thought it'd be a lot harder now. Current average is 40 and plus 10 from items. So 40 plus 10 multiplied by 3 equals 100. I'm sure someone can do the math on this one. I'll have to come back to that one later, I think. But yeah, critical strike nerf. Farseer. Feral Spirit. Wow, look at the changes here. Lowered experience rewarded to enemy heroes, so you're not going to be as punished as possible for losing your Feral Spirits. Increases unit level 1 and 2. Increases HP level 1 to 200 to 250, so basically, yeah, okay. Bigger, better wolves. Level 2 is 300 to 350. So it's just making the wolves a bit more significant. They were never really bad. It's just that the Blade Master was slightly too good to warrant going Farseer. Remember, back in Reign of Chaos, the fast, and I think for a fair bit of the Frozen Throne potentially as well, the Farseer was actually the most picked hero as Orc. In fact, it was basically the default hero. So a lot of people might be surprised to hear that, but that was really the case. Farseer was the most broke hero in Reign of Chaos, so you've got to be a bit careful with bringing him back up to scratch. I'm very cold, by the way. I'm just kind of like shivering at the moment. Also a bit of excitement. Chain Lightning. So this has been buffed to decrease the damage reduction. So that means that any Chain Lightnings hitting other targets won't reduce in damage so much. Fast Sight. Oh my god. No mana cost. Wow. Although that cooldown is huge. So I'm not sure if that's a buff. That looks like a nerf to me. Oh, I don't like that. 30, 60 second, 45. What? Oh, hang on a sec. But how far is the radius? Because it doesn't say whether the radius has changed. Because the radius does change between level 1, 2, 3. So the radius is the same as the level 3 radius. I could kind of understand a 30-second cooldown. But I don't like that. I don't think that buffs it. I mean, that sucks for Tower Island. Imagine having to wait 30 seconds every time you want to do fast type. Yeah, that's not good. Tauren Chieftain, so he's nippier. That's good. Reduce the duration for reincarnation to occur minus 7 seconds to 5 seconds. Okay, fair enough. War Stomp, so this has received a buff. Well, that's good for me, because Tauren Chieftain's my favourite hero. He's kind of OP, really, in a lot of ways. I suppose this wants to make him a bit more viable for 1 versus 1, but he wasn't bad. Okay, that's strange. I'm surprised War Stomp didn't receive a nerf to its stun duration, but there you go. I'm not asking for a nerf for that, because I like him to be OP, but that's just me. Dreadlord, base, so space speed increased again, so Carrion Swarm. So basically what they're doing is all the slow heroes, like the 270 ones, because you've got, I think, the Blade Master, Archmage, those kind of heroes move at 320 speed. So 290 isn't as fast as 320, obviously. So Dreadlord shouldn't be as fast as a Blade Master or Demon Hunter or whatnot, but they should still be fast. I think they're 320. I'm not 100% sure on that. So yeah, they're not going to be as sluggish now. Carrion Swarm receives a buff. So 100 mana. And it can target mechanical. Oh my god. The Carrion Swarm is actually really good. It's just that the Dreadlord isn't that viable for the most part because of Death Knight being too good. But this is huge because if you see me play Dreadlord, you know how kind of broke I can sort of make the scenario with him. I mean, just watch. I've got multiple videos on the channel regarding Dreadlord. Just search WTiiWarcraft and Dreadlord and you'll come up with a lot of videos showing just how OP the Dreadlord could potentially be. Oh my freaking god. Hang on a second. The duration nerfed. That's a big one. So sleep. Cooldown is buffed. So 6 seconds to 4 seconds, so you can spam it even more. The mana reduction is quite significant, but the level 3 doesn't make a difference, but still that's good for the early stages. The duration, though, that's been changed big time. Or has it? That's not 100%. Oh, I see. Yeah, 20. Because what that means is 20 is on units and 5 seconds is on heroes. So how long on heroes? 5. No, man. That's still a huge buff, in my opinion. Like, it lasts less time on heroes, but most decent players will attack their heroes to interrupt it. The main thing is that you can cast it consistently. So you can cast it on a shorter cooldown. And level 3 is 50 mana is still cheap enough, but it's just cheaper in general. I think that's a buff, man. That's a definite buff. Yeah, man. Look at that. That's crazy. And Vampiric Aura increased bonus for Dreadlord himself by the looks of it. So 15% to 20%. That's not really a big enough impact, I think. But they're still nice. So I've been going Dreadlords first anyway, quite a lot of the time, just for fun. He's going to be even more OP now. Crypt Lord, base speed. So he's a bit nippier as well. He's got all those legs, so I don't see why not. Carrion Beetles, they've received a buff to health and movement speed. So that's good for them. Makes them a bit more fireable. With more health, they should be a little bit more resistant to dispels as well. We'll see. Impale received an increase to its damage. I guess that's good, because it doesn't really do much damage. It's just for the stun. So that's helpful. Lich, base speed. Oh no. Because you always get a boost of speed for your Lich, and he's pretty damn fast, especially with the Death Knight aura. So he's going to be like lightning fast now. Priestess of the Moon, attack speed, cooldown. So she's received a buff to that. She's an agility hero with one of the slowest attacks in the game, but there you go. It's still better than it was. Keeper of the Grove, hero starting attributes. So his intelligence is 18 to 19. Okay, that's a huge change. Tranquility, so 3-second invulnerability at the start of the cast. Now that is pretty damn nifty. I wonder if... No, well, Starfall didn't get that, did it? Because it just says the Priestess of the Moon here, so never mind. Ah, but the duration is nerfed quite heavily. 30 seconds to 15 seconds. That is a huge nerf. But the heal, hang on a second, 20 to 40. Oh, so it's double the amount of healing for half the amount of time. That's actually, probably, generally speaking, a bigger buff than it is a nerf. Because with 40 healing per second for 15 seconds, that's going to have much more of an initial impact. So if the fight's going for 30 seconds, then I guess that's a nerf. But most fights might not necessarily last that long. The main impact of the fight anyway. So I think that's good. Entangling Roots, unit root. So, this received nerfs at level 2 and 3. So 24 to 18 seconds. That's the duration, I think. But the roots on heroes has increased. So you can use it to control heroes a bit better, which is good. I'm almost expecting now. This immediately made me think of the Shadow Hunter and what nerf he's going to get to Hex. Because we all know how good Hex is. That's much better than Entangling Roots. So, the Persac, I'm not sure about that, but there you go. Damage per second, right, okay. Force of Nature, so this is Treants doing more damage. That's not really enough to make people go Force of Nature, though. I think Force of Nature needs more than that. Warden Blink, so level 2 has been buffed, reduced, cooldown from 10 seconds to... Yeah, this makes sense. But the level 3 has been nerfed from 1 second to 4 seconds. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm okay with that. 1 second blinking was a little bit ridiculous in the hands of a very strong player. Naga Sea Bitch, base speed is increased to 290. Same with the Fat Pad. Oh my god. Goblin Tinker, yep, they're all getting 290. Cluster Rockets, allow air. Hang on a second. That can hit air. Ooh. I like that. I like that. Okay, increased base damage. So just damage all across the board. Cluster Rockets is back, boys. Goblin Alchemist, we have the base speed, so that's increased. That's really good. That'll help him catch up as well. He's going to be even faster in Chemical Rage then, theoretically. Healing Spray no longer heals enemy units, so now it's actually a pretty good heal, because that was always part of the problem, is that it could heal. You have to very specifically angle yourself, and it would just make it clunky in fights, a lot of the time. Acid Bomb, increased damage from 5 to 8. So total damage 35 to 120. Secondary damage buffs across the board for Acid Bomb. So that's good for him. It was actually pretty damn good before. I think it only costs like 60 mana. So it's pretty cheap and fairly spammable. So if you can sort of like keep your distance away from the opponent but keep them engaged and throw acid bombs at them all the time, you can get a lot done there. Firelord, Incinerate, level 1. Increase bonus damage, multiplier from 1 to 2. Death damage 4. Oh, wow, okay. So Incinerate's going to be having a much more larger impact. So this is good. So that means 1 to 2. I think every single time he hits, it does like 1 additional damage originally. Now it does 2 extra damage. And the same is going to be for these. So it'll be doing 4. So it'll stack up in quite a lot of damage if you're hitting the same target a lot of times with Incinerate. So death damage from the area, so just the radius of the explosion has been increased, so that's good, I think. Soul Burn, I don't know if Firelord's still going to be picked though, but I mean, Lava Spawn didn't need to be changed, I suppose. That was the only real good ability. So this now just brings him to be a bit more fireable in these other areas of abilities. So buffs to Soul Burn, increased duration. So that's fine. Bit more damage. Oh my goodness. Hang on a second. That's pretty damn good. 450 damage. 450 damage. That's quite a lot. Okay. Dark Ranger, life drain, level 1, increased damage per second from 25. So she's received buffs to her life drain, which never got used. So this is the last of the hero changes. So that's nice. Just a little bit more healing, I suppose. And reduces the mana cost from 75 to 50. That's a very good change because it was quite expensive before. Not that 75 is too much, but if the hero just runs out, you get super punished. But at least for 50 mana, it's not so punishing. Okay, so these are the map pools. We're just going to very quickly glance over these because it's not going to make much sense until I look at them properly. But basically, you're seeing some more maps from Warframe Arena, such as Amazonia, Last Refuge, that kind of stuff. 2 versus 2. Just feel free to pause a video at this point because these words don't mean too much. I recognize a lot of the maps, but they might not necessarily correspond to you. So again, in a future video, when I get the time, because I've been doing nothing but trying to make videos, I found out about this a bit late, unfortunately, because I found out from you guys. So thank you guys so much for letting me know, because I don't get information from inside sources like some people might. So creators, this is in regards to the last topic here for this video, is the specific world editor improvements. Here's your much deserved deeper dive into the editor improvements. So this is for Nick and other map content creators. So this is going to increase the object limit. Map size is increased. Oh my goodness, that's going to mean even bigger RPGs. Tile sets increased, so that's more sort of terrain features for players to create a map that has more feel to it. You know, like World of Warcraft had those different zones, like the snowy zones, the volcanic zones, the green zones. That's kind of what that means. That's the tile set. It means you can have like a green tile set, grass, dirt, you know, sand, all that kind of stuff. Max execution number increased. I don't know exactly what that means. Max food limit increase, so that's more. I guess the engine's able to handle this because they seem to be going for it, don't they? They don't seem to be holding back with any of this. Oh, that was the other thing. Display mana bar. That happens when you're inside of a game now. So you can see your mana bar, which is huge, and it's something that should have been in the game, and there's all of this, so yeah. Right, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm going to go have some food now, because I've been doing nothing but working on this in this morning, so thank you guys so much. Make sure to thumbs up the video. Take care, have a good one, and bye-bye. My first impressions of the 1.29 PTR. Hey, Witty here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to my channel for Warcraft free content every day. Just click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to be notified of the latest Warcraft free news. You can check out even more at WTiiWarcraft.com to stay in the loop. There's blogs, topics on interacting with me and others at my Twitch, forums, and more. Don't forget to follow me at WTiiWarcraft on Twitter to get all the latest. And come watch me live almost every day at twitch.tv/witty. If you'd like to go that extra mile and support this channel and everything I do, then you are welcome to join me and become a Patreon at patreon.com/WTiiWarcraft. Thank you so much and take care. Bye bye.